Hello and welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the Saxo Markets Men's Premiership for Hong Kong 2020-21 season coverage on Rugby 852. I'm your host, Jed Thine, and we have got an absolute belter lined up for you this weekend. That's right. Only 10 rounds of the season, as you all know, but already we have been dealt a primo hand. That's right. This weekend, all three games, and there's something on each and every single one of them. It's going to probably be the most exciting round of the season so far. Game one over at Kings Park. Kowloon, fresh off a fantastic performance where they just dipped against Football Club, taking on HKU Sandy Bay, who, let's be honest, they won't be altogether happy about the way the things went last weekend. So both teams looking for a win and some rare championship points. But Kowloon, they went close. That was tight like a tiger. Let's check the standings. Well, we find Kowloon sitting third on 6 points with two precious bonus points to their credit. Kowloon were unfortunate not to snare Club last weekend, as some thought they might do. HKU Sandy Bay, however, they didn't have to wait too long for their first win of the season. They took it straight off the starting line in round one, but they've been looking for points and wondering if they ever might get home at all. Now, this weekend will be all important for them. Those two teams, Kowloon and Sandy Bay, desperate for wins. They've got to keep in touch with Valley. They can't afford to be left alone. Have you seen this? The new HKRU TV app available on iOS or Android. That's right. Think about it. Think about the gravity of such a situation now. All the Hong Kong rugby, all the Premiership, nicely stacked up and ready for you to watch, as well as Reboot. The show with Boozer, Richard Cook and myself. It's all there for you. It is where rugby in Hong Kong calls it home. It's the HKRU TV app. To Kings Park we go now, ladies and gentlemen. Your commentators, pitch side, Richard Cook with James Sawyer.
Yep. Okay, thank you very much, Jed, and welcome to Kings Park here for round 4, the Saxo Markets Premiership here in Hong Kong. Beautiful day here in Hong Kong for running rugby, and as Jed said, I'm joined here in co-commentary with James Sawyer. How are you, James?
Yeah, good. Good afternoon, Cookie.
Yeah, good to have you here, but sadly not on the pitch. What's up with you, and when do you think you're back?
Yeah, so unfortunately, weekend before the season started, I had Mr. Mark Pryor of Sandy Bay actually fall on my leg and grade 2 MCL. So I'll be back after Christmas, hopefully. But
okay, well, good luck with that.
Thank
Good
you.
luck with that. So we don't have long before kick-off here, so just give us a quick whiz through the Kowloon side. Who's new? Who do we need to look out for?
Yeah, so it's good to see Ewan McLaren back from injury. He's one of our new signings this year. He's played Scotland age grades. Seems a good pedigree. He's been battling a rib injury up until this point. It's good to have him back out there. Ben Roach as well. He's fresh out of quarantine, played last week, ex-Well Sevens. And then we got Will Pandy on the bench, or Will Pando, sorry.
Yeah,
Hong Kong 20s. I think formerly Sandy Bay, so a revenge game for him.
Game for him, yeah. So changes for Sandy Bay. James Rees gets a start at number 6. Jack Lamb got concussed last week, so he's got a bit of a problem. And on the bench comes in Lewis Wilson, new back row player for Sandy Bay, a Yorkshireman. He's also played age grade rugby for England. So and a big shout out for young Guy Spanton, 23 today.
Happy birthday, Guy.
Spanners. Hopefully your parents are watching somewhere in the world, and so
be able to pick him out for his hair more than anything else today.
Absolutely.
Sporting a pretty spicy mullet.
Yeah, and it's hard to tell whether that is Movember or just the regular hair furniture.
Yeah.
So Harry Johnston kicks off, landing just inside the 22. Gare Curry takes the ball, takes it into contact. Pryor is over the top there. Tom McQueen in to clear the ball away. But Liam Slatum now at the base of this ruck. And he kicks to the box and it's coming over towards this touch line. Jack Neville shepherds it into touch there. So, steady old start for Sandy Bay there. Nothing too out of the ordinary.
Yeah, they'll be happy with that. Just a few phases, settle the nerves, and great exit from Saxo.
So, Alex Harris gets the start, better known as Hobbit. 30-odd internationals for Hong Kong. Good first throw. Bryn Phillips did well to pick that up. Carried up hard into contact there. Sam Choi. So fairly direct initial start here from Kowloon. But it looks like Sandy Bay have turned this one over. Ball into the hands of Van der Schmidt, who goes hard at this, supported by Ashton Hyde. Alex Post covering up there, and Slaton brings it out to this right edge here. Gets it into the hands of Alex McQueen, covered up by his brother Tom. Now Ashton Hyde drives it in. Good clean out from Van der Schmidt. Jamie Grist with his first touch. Tertius out to Gare Curry. And an early touch for Ewan Phillips. We didn't mention we got twin brothers playing on opposite sides here today. And a turnover, but deemed illegal by the referee. Didn't release in the tackle, so be an early decision for Sandy Bay here. So yet again, as they have done in weeks, the first 3 weeks, they've gone from coast to coast, looking to put some air on the ball there, James.
Yeah, I think Kowloon will be a bit disappointed there. We had the possession, had control of the ball, turnover in midfield, a few phases and given a penalty away. So I know Sneds will be pulling his hair out of that. It's pretty sloppy from us.
So this is a tough kick to start out on the left-hand touchline. So slightly favourable side for Ewan Phillips, being a right-footed kicker. It's about 6 or 7 metres outside the 22 on the 5 metre. Just in from touch. He'll be anxious to put an early marker down against his brother. Very solid kick, but I think
pushed it wide.
Just drifting,
we're good here, 5.
Drifting wide. A good strike.
5, we're good.
Yeah, a lot off there for Kowloon.
Absolutely. So some early repair work from the mechanics there for James Cunningham.
Have him behind you, please, 10.
So Harry Johnson, who's had a really good start so far to the season, taking this drop out 22.
Yeah, one of the
pumps it deep. Oh, almost a mix-up there between Curry and Van der Schmidt, but Curry claims the ball to Johnson. He doesn't mark it, although he's inside the 22, gets the ball out to Jack Neves. Carries it into contact. Phillips moves it to Alex Harris. Good carry there by Kenny. So playing quite a bit of football early on in their 22 here, Kowloon.
I want to get rid of this now.
Bringing it left and right. It looks like Bryn is setting up for the box kick clearance.
Use it.
Sure enough, up he goes. That's a midfield.
Yeah, won't be happy with that.
Takes it quite easily. Carries it hard.
Oh, wow.
Contact is straight through. Gets the ball to Van der Schmidt, who pops the ball up. Misses Slaton, and Bryn Phillips is straight onto that ball. So a let off there for Kowloon, but sloppy use of the ball on attack.
Yeah, that was a lovely little break there from Gristy.
Step wide. Thank you.
Kowloon looking
Use
to
it, Red.
settle down here and just reset off the next set piece.
So that's a deep kick. Tom McQueen looking to field this. Moves it inside to Gare Curry, immediately comes back to this wing. Towards the McQueen brothers. Tom McQueen carries it hard in. Van der Schmidt, that's a heavy contact there. Goes through it, takes a few
Don't drag him in there, right?
Ashton Hyde hit
Collision,
hard there
Sam
by
Choi.
Sam Choi.
What a shot.
Tertius Kruger gets his hands on the ball for the first time. Hits and spins through the contact. Slaton digging in for the ball.
Need a clear lip,
Pulls it
5.
into Pryor, who feints to give it the Hyde. So right out in front of the post in the 22 here now. Grist to Alex McQueen to Gare Curry.
Good read from Herbert.
So Slayton waits over this ball. Ben Davey steps straight through the tackle there. Pushes off another. Gets it up to Zach Cinnamon. Sandy Bay really needs to look after this ball now in the
like
shadow of
JC's
the
on
post.
that.
Looks like he's got his arm
Ruck
out.
formed.
Van der Schmidt goes to the outside there. Pops the ball to Dean Rousseau for the opening try.
Yeah.
So this has been a very good start for Sandy Bay, very workmanlike.
First box kicks, we need to move that forward a bit
And very
quicker,
similar to last week when they got off to a fantastic start against Tigers.
11 red,
Yeah,
11.
just built the phases nicely there. Didn't
Yeah.
lose patience, just stuck to their systems.
Just make
And
sure you arrive up, please.
nice break by Ben
make sure
Davey
you
and
arrive up at the
on the
breakdown.
front foot. Luke
Yeah.
Van der Schmidt in behind, and that's try time.
So I'd say Sneds would be a little bit concerned about the first up defence there. Jamie
On the
Grist
5,
caught
thanks,
that
11.
high middle
Thanks.
ball that Bryn Phillips put up and went through a couple of tackles. Tertius Kruger went through a few. Davey and also Van der Schmidt. So gives Ewan Phillips the opportunity to add the extras. So he's gone from the left-hand 5 metre line to the right-hand 5 metre line here. So an early 5-0 lead. And I'm sure Wilkinson will be impressing upon Sandy Bay not to ease off as they did last week.
Let's see if the Rat Catcher can nudge us through.
So another good strike, but off to the right. So 5-0. And that's a second try of the season for Dean Rousseau. Scored one right in the corner on that right-hand side against Football Club. Second game out. So Harry Johnston. Restart deep into the 22. Hanging deep on Tom McQueen, who jinks inside. Stopped by Sam Choi, and ball now in the hands of Van der Schmidt. Carries it up to the 22. Slayton pulls the ball over to Grist again.
Interesting.
The old chip and chase.
Strong from Brent.
Bryn Phillips is strong in the contact there around his brother.
Not going to
Put into
touch.
touch there
Not going
by
to
Alex
touch.
Post, who's looking to get hold of the ball quickly.
Chris, you've got an option here.
So
You've got an
back
option
a
of a
few
scrum
years
or a
ago
line
when
out.
Andy Hall was
Oh, sorry.
the coach of Cricket Club, which became Sandy Bay,
Not going
chip
to
and
touch.
chase was considered a hanging offence.
No, I think Kowloon will probably be pretty happy with that outcome, despite it being a Sandy Bay line out. They look to apply pressure here and potentially force a turnover. But yeah, I'm sure Brett perhaps won't agree with the option of chipping and chasing from your own 22.
So slightly overthrown, ball ends up with
Leave it now.
Slayton, who gets it out to Grist off the side of the boot.
Good
Good
from
take
Higo.
by Higo.
Strong. Great clear outlet from him and John Neville.
So Ben Roach
Backwards.
drives it into contact. Harry Johnson pulls it out the back. That is well picked up, but slightly drifting forward there. There's somewhat of a breeze up here. It's blustering and swirling around, so it's hard to see who it's favouring. So it's possibly making these line-outs a little bit difficult. But
That's a lock.
the woes for Sandy Bay
Number 4.
continue at the line-out. It looks like
Time's off.
Bryn has picked up a
Take
bit of a
step
knock
back, Oz.
there, so referee calls time off.
Looks
it's
like
been a-
Sam Hobbins is on as well. Just
Water off,
noticed
thanks,
Ben
water
Roach
off.
is potentially getting a bit of blood seeing
Right,
to
we
him
good?
their ball at the moment. So
Right, time's still off.
Sam Hobbins, he celebrated his 30th birthday last week. He's probably losing his hair a bit quicker than he'd like. All round great bloke and a great addition to the club this year.
So it looks to me like many of the sides have recruited well this year. So we're going to have the first scrummage, and I think that's an area that Kowloon will probably be looking to try and dominate with Bristow, Harris and McLaren in that front row, facing off against Hyde, Post and Cinnamon.
Yeah, it's
Right,
two strong scrummaging sides.
No.
Obviously Sandy Bay have the benefit of Brett as the head
Marty,
coach, scrummaging Gnaws, as some might put it. But yeah, this will be an interesting battle here.
There's a good post on Instagram
Boys, remember that pre-match
of,
stability?
of
Square,
Brett analysing some scrummages with the ERP the other day.
Yeah.
Dane Jans and the
Time's back on.
intelligentsia of the front row surrounding him. So here we have this first scrummage. Always an anxious moment
Bind.
for both sides. So Slaton with the put in.
So we need that
Referee
space
having
of bind, both leaning in there, okay? Let's get that clear space and supporting weight, please.
no truck with any messing around there. So, phase of the game that seems to take forever
Shoulders
these
on the
days.
bind, please, eights. Ready. Crouch.
There we go.
So, Slaton,
Bind.
the second time of asking,
Set.
goes down on this side.
Sure, both teams
Both
will be
sides
saying
drop
that's
in the
their
same
penalty there.
time. Not clear for me.
In reality, no one
So
really knows what's going on.
both going down
Exactly.
together. Let's just lift
No
our height,
excuses
please.
slipping on the wet turf here on this 4G pitch here at Kings Park in Hong Kong.
No.
So, Tom Bristow, probably the pick of the loose heads in the Premiership at the moment, facing off against Zach Cinnamond, former Hong Kong under-20. He's worked pretty hard on his fitness over the summer, so it'll be interesting to see how he goes against the Hong Kong loose head Tom Bristow on this side. And a penalty given there.
3 red collapse.
So
3 red
Ewan
collapse. Away you go,
McLaren.
thanks.
call must have come in from the touch judge on the far side.
Yeah.
So Gare Curry gets an opportunity to push Sandy Bay deep. Jack Neville again just watching that one into touch. And that's a pretty good nudge by Gare Curry. He's carved off, I'd say, some 40 odd metres there.
Yeah.
Put them
It's good to see Gare out there with his mates. As of late, he's been locked away in the Potfield with his girlfriend in her mansion. So rugby is about the only time he affords time for the
So
lads.
good
anymore.
take there from Ben Davey,
Out, thank you. Out.
the front of the line out. They've got a good setup here at Sandy Bay,
Put him down.
driving it.
He's just driven
Looks
through
like
there.
Cinnamon has got the ball in his hands at the back, and now Slaton gets it to Kruger. It's a good tackle there. Slaton brings that ball to Grist, who shows and goes and bounces through that tackle, gets himself onto the front foot.
Pulled out of it.
Slaton to the right, gets it to Ben Davey, who goes over for the second try. So Higo was left with a mountain of work to do there, with a big second row coming at him about 2 yards off the line. So all came from that penalty at the scrummage. Gare Curry pokes the ball deep, good line out. A couple of good phases from Sandy Bay. What do you make of this start so far?
Yeah, nothing flash from Sandy Bay, but it just shows it's some momentum sport. Get into the corner, good set piece, and then just front foot ball. Lads couldn't get around the corner quick enough for Kowloon, and numbers up and a good strong carry from Ben, who's had a couple of good rumbles now.
Yeah, and I think what was probably quite crucial in that was Jamie Grist bounced through the first up tackle there and got Sandy Bay onto the front foot, which then had everybody scrambling backwards from that point.
Yeah, it just meant that those extra couple of players for Kowloon couldn't get around the corner.
Yeah.
Left too much for Jack and Higo to do on the flanks there.
So, further points left on the table there. So that's a 10-0 lead for Sandy Bay with about 13 or 14 minutes gone. I'd say the first up tackling at the moment of Kowloon is not what they'd want it to be.
Yeah, probably missed more tackles already in this game than we had last week.
So Pryor rises and takes that deep kick from Harry Johnston. Slaton moves the ball infield, gets it to Tertius Kruger. It's tipped on, and Tom McQueen moves the ball to Alex Post.
Trying to play a bit too much.
Fired it out there, and Kowloon have turned this ball over. It's gone on his own there, and that ball on the edge there,
You're offside.
that a judge to have come in from an offside position to take that ball.
Looked like it
The
popped
ball was
out.
shown, but not onside. So
Hey,
opportunity for
all
Kowloon
white offside.
to either
Shot.
take the points or go to the corner. So our referee, Mr. Shane Barr, freshly arrived from Australia.
Sandy Bay will be pretty frustrated with themselves there, perhaps. Thought they had momentum, tried to do a bit too much from their own 22, and one mistake in the pen. So could be an easy 3 points for Kowloon here and a bit of a momentum change.
Yeah, Harry Johnston was good from all angles and all distances last week at football club. As I say, it's a blustery old wind up here at Kings Park today. Not easy for the kickers at either end, but just a couple of easy steps in and gets Kowloon onto the board. So 10-3, as you say. Sandy Bay probably overplaying it inside their 22 there.
Yes.
Alex Post drilled that ball, knock on, and Bryn Phillips was onto it like a flash.
That's an absolute coach killer. You're always saying after you score, don't give away easy points off the kick-off, and that's exactly what's happened there.
So Jamie Grist goes long deep. Charlie Hickson-Smith
No danger of him kicking.
carries the ball to just outside the 22. There's a good solid carry there
You're outside here.
from Higo. Bryn
Carry
Phillips.
back.
As Kowloon move the ball out onto this right-hand side. Getting out to that right edge there. Now Hobbit with a good strong
Good
carry
shot.
there. He's scragged to the ground. Bryn Phillips
Views, please, 9.
looking like he's going to box kick here. Hoists the ball high.
Great kick.
Jamie Grist is on it.
Knock on,
Lewis.
advantage.
Knock on. But Lewis Warner swoops on that ball. And now Bryn Phillips carries the ball into contact, and he's met by some stern first up defence there from Sandy Bay. So they've gone back for the knock on by Jamie Grist. He rose really well in the air there to take it, but just slipped from his grasp, and Lewis Warner was onto it like a flash.
Yeah.
Lewis
Mistake there
also-
from Sandy Bay, but Brett will probably be quite happy that the boys got back there and they're a decent defensive line despite
I need wide up here,
everything, and we're able to get up and stop Kowloon playing that turnover ball where we can be pretty dangerous. So
Yeah, having barely had their hands on the ball, Sandy Bay have handed it to Kowloon a couple of times and have certainly given them the opportunity to get a foothold back in this game. So Bryn Phillips, the first feed to Kowloon scrummage here.
yeah,
So the penalty goes the other way this time.
looked like the same pen as Ewan was penalised for earlier. Zach doing the same thing there. So good consistency from the referee.
What are we doing
So
here?
referee Barr asking
Taking a shot? It's fair.
what they're doing.
He's probably back himself from here, will he?
Chris Kinlock asking exactly where the mark is. Decided it's a little bit too wide. So Harry Johnston goes to the touchline, and it looks like
great
he's
catch.
spotted it right on the 5.
Okay, boys, we're on the 5.
Was looking touch and go as to whether he'd put that dead there, but
Give that space
this is a
on the line,
really
please,
good
right?
opportunity
Wait,
now
wait,
for
wait, wait.
Kowloon. If they can come away with points after having conceded a couple of early tries. Good take there from JC, middle of the line out. A good sack, but they've got the ball up and they're driving hard towards the line. It's gone down,
Can't do that.
Ball's out.
and it looks like Alex Post has recovered the ball there for Sandy Bay. Some good work there on the ground by Post. Looked for all money like the maul had been dragged down there by Sandy Bay, but referee Shane
Use the
Barr
white.
judges that all's okay for Slayton, the base of this ruck. Under some pressure there from James Cunningham.
No, ball's out.
It's the ball to Kinlock.
Oof.
Harry Johnston fends off the first tackle. And Kowloon good for the second
Formed.
or third penalty in almost as many minutes. So seems like Kowloon
Back
have
10, thanks, right.
sparked themselves into action.
Yeah, I mean, probably looking to take the points here, but Sandy Bay perspective, they've
I need you on the
had a
ball,
chance to
Lee.
probably
That
produce a
one there,
better
you've got
exit there,
elbows, yeah?
and
Tied
again,
up,
just
thanks.
maybe a bit sloppy, and another penalty opportunity for Kowloon.
Yeah, interesting to see Alex Post wandering around on that far touchline.
Yeah, that was a great bit of heads-up play there from Posty, diving on that loose ball.
Yeah, it was a great turnover by Sandy Bay, but a really good return on the kick there. Chris Kinlock fielded the ball, and Harry Johnson bounced through the first tackle and has now set up another opportunity to take a further 3 points. Lovely strike again, and just off to the left. So it's pretty uncharacteristic from Harry.
That might be the first one he's missed all year.
Yeah, same one. Same one.
Was certainly on fantastic form last week at Football Club.
Has him behind you now, thanks, 10.
So Jamie Grist playing number 10. Opts to kick a deep ball all the way down to Bryn Phillips. He looks like he's going to play a bit of aerial ping pong, hoist the ball high. It's coming towards Van der Schmidt on the 22.
Don't think he's going to kick.
No, it steps through the first tackle, takes the contact there. Slayton brings the ball out. Got a mix up there between Russo and Kruger.
Slightly overrun that.
Forward, right.
The
Red scrum.
two Dutchmen. Maybe been a bit of a call in Afrikaans there that wasn't understood. So yet again trying to play the ball out from deep, and Sandy Bay run themselves into a bit of a mess, and there's now a scrummage just outside the Sandy Bay 22 on this left-hand touchline as Kowloon play down right to left as we look at the pitch. So scrum number 3, the first two have ended in penalties. Let's see if we can clear the ball away from here. So Bryn Phillips feeds the ball. It's Sam Choi's feet. Now Bryn picks it out and moves the ball to Higo. Takes it hard. Great tackle by Jamie Grist.
Off the foot.
And the ball bobbled forward on the ground there.
Grab a drink, eh? Water, fellas. 2 minutes.
So continuing at the 20-minute break with these water breaks, which is kind of hard to believe considering that we're only 23 degrees here in Hong Kong at the moment, here in Yau Ma Tei, and relative humidity of 58%. So
I mean, you're in a jumper, Cookie, so
absolutely, it's a chilly day here in Hong Kong for me. So what do you make of this opening 20 minutes, James? 2 early tries from Sandy Bay, looking really solidly in charge of the game, and Kowloon fighting their way back in.
yeah, I think Sandy Bay will definitely be happier with the two teams off that first 20. It's more their errors that have allowed Kowloon into the game than anything else. I think on the Kowloon side of things, it's a case again of just keeping that ball off first phase. Just erring there, losing the ball off first phase, an absolute coach killer.
I can imagine that Brett Wilkinson will be a little bit concerned, because this was the type of thing that happened here last week against Tigers, looking good, and then Sandy Bay started to hand the initiative to Tigers, and Tigers had Josh Henderson knocking the goals over and keeping them in it, and Harry Johnston doing exactly the same thing for Kowloon. Really good couple of carries from Charlie Hickson-Smith. Seems to be settling well. So it's round 4 and he's still not injured. Understand that he missed the game at Football Club last week.
Yeah, some politics there, but we won't get into that.
But it's almost got to be a record that we are 4 games into the season and Higo still hasn't picked up an injury. Good to see the man
Good. Keep that.
out there wearing a Kowloon jersey on his left wing.
Maroon really suits him.
So another opportunity for Slatham to put this ball into the scrummage. Absolutely middle of the field, just outside the 22. So will Sandy Bay look to run it out from here, or will they clear the lines? So Slatham with the feed under the watchful eye of Bryn Phillips. Good scrummage there from Kowloon, but cleared away by Gare Curry, who goes very, very high. Alex McQueen is after it and knocks it backwards, but it's come up in the hands of Kowloon.
Ben Roach on that.
So good crumbing there to pick that ball up. Chris Kinlock in off his wing, carries the ball well. Phillips takes the ball back to the right. Harry Johnston puts it on the toe.
Great kick.
And it's a good kick, keeps the momentum in the game for Kowloon and puts the pressure right back on Sandy Bay again. So it was a really good rise and knock back by Alex McQueen for that kick, but Ben Roach snapped up the crumbs, and Harry Johnston has got Kowloon back on the front foot. So just inside the 22, Alex post, and it's overthrown. And Alex Harris picks up that ball again, beats Liam Slatham to it. James Cunningham hard on attack.
Carry.
Very good carry there. So coming to this left side, Jack Neville shows and goes, stands up in the tackle, gets the ball to Kinlock, who's held up by Ben Davey. So moving the ball to the right, and they've gone all the way, and just overthrown.
Foot on touch. Foot on touch.
Just overthrown there, trying to get the ball to Ben Roach, who was on that right edge.
Yeah.
So some real intent from Kowloon there.
Correct. Yep.
Sandy Bay yet again masters of their own issues.
Yeah, just a slightly overthrown line out there. It's never the hooker's fault. He'll be blaming the lift or the jumper there, but yeah, they'll be disappointed with that exit again.
Yeah, okay. Boys.
So early in this game, Kinlock looking busy, coming in off his wing looking for work.
Sorry?
So Slatham gets another opportunity to put the ball in. The mark is just outside the 22, so they can't go direct to touch.
Ready. Crouching.
So it was a good scrummage. Last feed by Kowloon really put Sandy Bay under pressure, but they managed to get the ball away. So Slatham puts the ball in. That's a solid scrummage from both sides. So Slatham moves the ball to Grist, pushes the ball deep. Higson Smith over his head, back into the 22, coming under some pressure, and as you said, not sure he knows how to kick the ball, Charlie Higson Smith. So the tackle is made just inside the 22 for Kowloon. Bryn Phillips moves the ball there. They set up another ruck. Will they look to clear here? But no, they go again. Bristow on the ball there. Some good line speed from Sandy Bay here inside the Kowloon 22. Phillips marshalling the troops behind him, pulls it back to Johnston. Puts the ball high. Jamie Grist comes forward onto this one. Takes it on the full. Goes and in, takes the contact. Kruger. Slatham comes to this right edge here. Gare Curry strong in the contact. So Slatham brings the ball to the inside. Zach Cinnamon met there with a good tackle by Bristow. And a knock on right on the tackle line. They tried to tip that ball tight there. Another slight handling error from Sandy Bay. So they're looking to cut loose, but not quite all on the same page at the moment.
You're onto it.
So referee Barr marks this scrummage.
I'm disappointed I answered now.
Absolutely dead centre of the field
Let's keep rolling here, please.
on the Kowloon 22. So
Ball's right there, mate. Let's go.
feed this time for Bryn Phillips.
In, thanks.
So Alex Harris, I think some 35, 36 caps for Hong Kong. He's played against the big boys of Japan and Korea many a time.
Early
But an early engage by Sandy Bay. So yet another infringement at the scrummage. It's a free kick, so ball is in Harry Johnston's hands. He's looking for all money, like he's going to go aerial, can't go direct to touch. He puts that high bomb up, right down the middle. Alex McQueen is underneath it. Oof. And he skies that one, it doesn't go too far forward. James Cunningham knocks the ball back to Bryn Phillips, who hits and spins.
Good Gary.
Wrapped up by both the McQueen brothers there. Tom Bristow moves that ball to his fellow front rower.
Just hold 7.
Now Bristow to Johnston. And a knock on there, and Liam Slatham goes immediately to the toe. Sam Choi is back to gather this one. He's inside the 22. I don't think he'll kick any more than Higo would. Some really strong play on the ball there by Sam Choi.
Yeah, great work to stay on his feet.
So, good drive there by Higo coming in off the wing.
Use it, please, Red.
So the ball now, the base of this ruck. Phillips looking to set this up. Will go aerial. So all the way down here to Van der Schmidt, just inside the Sandy Bay half, as he winds up and he runs hard, beats the first man, and then opens the ball up to Kruger. So Sandy Bay put it to the toe. Now deep inside the Kowloon 22, but Kowloon have the ball. Sandy Bay have flopped over the top there.
Yeah, that's unnecessary there.
Absolutely.
Didn't need to give the penalty.
It's, I think that'll be driving Coach Wilkinson crazy. They put all that pressure on. Probably the best that Kowloon could hope for would have been a kick out Sandy Bay throw, but they give away the penalty, which gives Johnston the opportunity now to take play up to the halfway line. So this game, as we move towards half-time, it looks like from the AR's flag on the far side that Sandy Bay probably have got the benefit of the wind in this first half. And we've got an injury down there inside the 22. James, who's...
It's a big fella, Ian McLaurin, I think.
All right, let's play. Water's off now, thank you.
So McLaren makes his way back towards this line out.
Right in the limit with that time again there. I gave you use it as soon as I've given use it. There's another prop over there taping.
Tom Bristow having a chat there, as he always does with the other team. Sure they'll be trying to get under his skin.
So Alex Harris with this throw.
Here we go, Nick.
Just fractionally inside the Kowloon half, but we'll get a good opportunity with him throwing down the barrel of the camera here.
So some running repairs to Leakey.
Yeah, Van der Schmidt picked up a bit of a head knock last week against Tigers.
2 I'll call time on, just
Got
wait,
got the turban on.
More tape than head at the moment.
Exactly. So shortened line out here for Kowloon. So Harris, it's good rise and take there by James Cunningham. Good sack by Sandy Bay. But Kowloon looking after this ball. Phillips goes aerial, keeping the pressure on Sandy Bay. Jamie Grist goes up, takes the mark just inside his 22 there. So apart from that early knock on, Grist has looked good under the high ball.
Yeah.
Playing his 4th game of rugby in Hong Kong.
Yeah, he's looked good for Sandy Bay.
Played the first 2 games off the bench. Set up the wonder try that Nick Cummins injured himself for, and got the start last week, and certainly settling into his work. So here we are from about 2 minutes ago. Kowloon probably with about 3 or 4 yards deeper inside their own half here. So Harris with this throw. So John Kenny rising there, another good take. Harris comes away with the ball, Kinlock off his wing, drives a hard line there. Sandy Bay working hard there for the ball there. And again, some good line speed from Sandy Bay there, but Phillips brings the ball away. Jack Neville juggles the ball but hangs onto it well and is under pressure there, but does really well to stay on his feet there and wrestle that ball back. So it looks like Phillips is going aerial again. Alex McQueen is under this with Higson Smith coming to him. Pulls the ball to the left to Jamie Grist, who goes deep left.
Probably not as deep as he'd like.
Picks up Jack Neville, who's a dangerous runner. Tackled there by Ewan Phillips. And it looks like he's knocked the ball on in the contact there.
Yeah, just trying to keep the ball in field. Let's bobble forward as he put it down.
So Jack Neville fielded that ball and brought it back. He's probably the man in Hong Kong rugby that you'd least want to see running at you in a broken field situation.
Yeah, doesn't look much, but he always bounces and steps out of tackles. He's just quite a nuggety little player, this old Jack.
Did very well when he fielded that ball from Alex McQueen. Stayed strong in the contact, gave his forwards the opportunity to get back. So we've now got this scrummage just inside the Sandy Bay half on their left wing. Far side of the pitch as we look at it. So Slatham with the feed. So puts the ball in there. Van der Schmidt shovels it to Slatham. Gets the ball to Kruger, who's on a tight line. Who gets the ball to Gare Curry, who makes the break. And it looks like he goes all the way. So some really good interplay there from Sandy Bay. Firstly, Slatham up to Kruger on a tight line. Out the back of his hand to Gare Curry, striding through.
Yeah, Gare putting the burners on there. That was a lovely offload. Pretty simple first phase that. Just up the guts, offload and in under the sticks.
Yeah, it's often not that used, scrummage first phase ball, but it is the point in the game where you got the most amount of space and people and the defence are set.
7.
So Ewan Phillips with a fourth opportunity to open his account for Sandy Bay. All 4 of his opportunities have been from relatively wide out. So a couple of steps in.
That was not a good looking kick.
No, that
We've got 6.5.
had the flight of a shot seagull.
The dead duck, as it's known.
Yeah. So some running repairs for Alex Post, getting his head taped up. I think Gare Curry will be very, very pleased with that. Finished that well. So Harry Johnston, another high hanging kick deep into the 22. Tom McQueen recovers it, but bundled into touch by Charlie Higson Smith. So a really good return there for Kowloon. Very, very good kick there by Harry Johnston.
Here's the mark here. 3, so nothing. 5.
So what are we going to be looking for here, James?
Imagine try and keep this driving wall up. Sandy Bay have done an excellent job so far, sacking that jumper.
So Harris to Cunningham. Really, really good strong take there, and they've kept this one up. JC at the front of that.
Let's use it now. You're going backwards.
Alex Harris tried to slip out the side of that ball, but the ball's now gone to ground. Sam Choi looking to move it, but now Bryn Phillips pops the ball up to Ewan McLaren there. The solid carry. Sandy Bay looking to try and get themselves onto that ball.
6 wide.
But referee Shane Barr having none of it.
Can hear the ref screaming there as well. That's a frustrating one for Sandy Bay.
So 6 white was the call, so James Rees gives that penalty away. And having opened the game up to a 12-point lead with the 3rd try for Sandy Bay, they immediately give Harry Johnston the opportunity.
We've got 3 of those hands in the rucks. Let's just be a bit tidy if we can, please.
So the referee just talking to skipper Liam Slatham there. Just warning him, that's the 3rd time hands in the ruck. So fair warning from Mr. Barr.
In the same message, but I reckon you can still be squarer with it. Just
There's been some repeat offenders there as well, so Sandy Bell will be hoping that they don't see any cheese from the referee's pocket.
So Harry Johnston has been striking the ball well so far today. He's 1 from 2 as we look straight behind this, and that's a lovely kick. Judge that into that slight breeze. So having scored 5 themselves, Sandy Bay immediately give back 3 straight from the kickoff.
I'm just giving it to both of you.
So Jamie
3.5.
Grist. So with 3 minutes to half time, Jamie Grist will go long right again. Straight into the arms of Bryn Phillips, who with a
Red 5.
good exit.
Absolutely
Takes
thumped her.
really good exit there from Bryn Phillips to just inside the Sandy Bay half. So from a tight angle there, really
So just drag them across.
really good kick.
Drag them across.
So Alex Post now throwing into this Sandy Bay line out. And Pryor goes up at the back under a lot of pressure from Cunningham. And Slatham to Grist, who chips over the top.
Oh,
Sandy Bay are onto this, but the ball ends up in the hands of Ben Roach yet again. Now Jack Neville sniping down the right-hand side there.
bounce of the ball there, Cooker.
Phillips to JC, who tips it on to Sam Choi with a real heavy carry there. Bristow, good ball out the back to Harry Johnston. Bounce pass to Charlie Higson, who feints to kick it, but then takes a hard ball inside. Phillips
Great
to
line.
McLaren, great line there, and a really good tackle there by Rousseau. Phillips, Joe Barker gets it into the hands of Hobbit, midfield. Some good phase play here. Jack Neville feints and goes. Oof. Joe Barker, another strong carry there.
It's available.
They bring the ball back to the left. Alex Harris drops the ball, but it goes backwards.
Strong carry, Johnny.
So John Kenny recovers that, gets Kowloon back onto the front foot. Joe Barker out the back to Harry Johnston. Good tackle there by Tertius Kruger.
The old seatbelt.
Nothing too malicious there. Both players falling into that, but it gives Harry Johnston
Shot.
a shot. It's probably going to be half time.
Sorry. Didn't mean to kick it far.
Yeah, just a little sloppy from Kruger there. Probably didn't need to wrap his arm high. Had Harry quite well contained, so another chance for 3 points.
So Ben Davey receiving some treatment on the far side there. That'll be worrying signs for Brett Wilkinson.
Yeah.
And the referee tells Cunningham that he thinks this kick will be it. It will be the half. And I'm pretty sure
Seen him get
that
there.
being 3 tries to 0 down, Snedden would be very happy to go in at 15-9.
Yeah. Sandy Bay definitely had the better attacking play, coming away with points in the 22, but just those extra points from the goal kicking, keeping Kowloon in reach.
So another lovely strike there by Johnston, but it just slides to the right, and that is half time. So Sandy Bay hanging on to a 15-6 lead here as referee Shane Barr signals that it is half time. Clear? Clear? So as we come back here, and it's now half time here at Kings Park, Sandy Bay holding a 15-6 lead. So if we run through that first half, what do you make of it so far, James?
Yeah, I think Sandy Bay will be pretty happy with their attack in what's called the red zone. So 22 into the try line. I think every entry they've had so far, they've come away with a try. But then on the flip side, perhaps disappointed with the errors they've been making that have led to penalties in their own 22, particularly off kickoffs that Kowloon have capitalised on with 6 points.
Absolutely. So the opening try, Sandy Bay played multiple phases into the Kowloon 22, and then they moved it right. Dean Rousseau popped up on the outside of Van der Schmidt to run the ball over the line.
Yeah.
What did you make of that? It was only about 3 minutes into the game, I think, at that stage.
Yeah, I think we touched on it at the time. It was just great set piece, and then momentum carries, and that just meant that Kowloon couldn't get numbers around the corner. I think it was